Coming at you from Scratch and Wolf Studio. It's that time again to rage across the internet. Your very favorite Werewolf the Apocalypse podcast. I'm your host, Porter. To my left, as always, producer Danny Tyson.
Hey, everybody.
And, looking at an empty chair across from me again.
Yeah, son of a bitch.
This guy.
Stopping on his commitments. Just because it's nice outside.
Right, you know, it's almost like this is the same recording as last week. It has just been like a few minutes.
Oh.
I wonder if...
About 10.
About, more than 10. Hey, Melissa.
Yes?
Hey, there we go. Look at that.
She's back.
Coming straight from our Discord, our dear friend, patron, mod, and storyteller in our RAI Discord. We have the wonderful Melissa joining us once again for another episode. Welcome back.
Thank you. This is a 3-time.
That's a hat trick.
Yeah.
Is it? Wow, 3?
That's pretty
3.
super.
You're already doing it, huh?
Don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah.
It's, yeah?
Yes, you did.
First guest to appear 3 times.
Is it 3?
Yes.
3.
Wow, holy crap. Now, congratulations, Melissa.
Thank you. Thank you. I want to thank me.
No, it's absolutely great to have you back. And yeah, the first guest for 3 times, which is, well, it's in a club of 1 at this point.
Exactly. So, yeah, I'm going to own this.
One and only.
For now. But you will always be the first.
Of course. Because I'm number 1.
All right.
Before the exchange rate, I absolutely agree.
Another Canadian joke.
Oh, I'm getting used to that by now.
Look, we have an obligation.
Yeah, a little bit.
And we're going to go easy on you. But
Nah, you don't have to.
Just as long as someone says they're sorry.
It's usually me.
Well, that's someone.
Yeah, good enough. Hey, I know you're Canadian, but you're still a person.
Oh, man. She's trying to... She's holding it back.
Yeah,
I'm trying.
you can't hold it back.
Oh, boy. All right. You know what? I think we should hit some business before we just fall out here.
Yeah, let's focus this a little bit.
Yeah, just a little bit.
All right.
Let's hit some business.
All right. Well, it's kind of weird. I was talking with some of the guys. We have a store.
Yes, we do. It's right on our website.
And yeah, we sell stuff.
Yes, we do. Lots of stuff, actually.
And people seem to enjoy it.
Yeah. Show us how much they enjoy by posting some pictures up on social media.
That would be awesome.
Yeah.
We can't do it. I mean, first of all, we're not rooting through your stuff. But...
Not without permission.
I'm just, I don't know what I'll find. I don't... But, we love to see, show off your pride, show the love for RAI. But we do have the store, which is going well. Is the point. And I'm really impressed. So I want to thank everybody for how they've been showing that support.
Yes, thanks so much, everyone, for the purchases that you've made, the showing them off. We love seeing that stuff. It's such a big deal to us. It's like it just shows that we made the right decision by putting this back on.
Right. Yeah, we had troubles with the first one.
Which is...
everything was a nightmare with that last vendor.
The vendors were just... They weren't helping.
You know what's funny? I checked our original vendor the other day. I got an email from them.
Okay.
They still don't have those coffee mugs.
Are you shitting me? Jesus. Which, this is fine, because this one we have now, way better.
It is, but I think that's funny, is it's been over a year, and they still have not repopulated those black coffee mugs.
That, you know what, that's fine, because the ones we got now, way better, and just ask Melissa, everything tastes better out of the RAI mug.
It does. Take it from me. It definitely tastes better.
That is...
You heard it.
Take it to the bank. That is scientific fact.
It's not scientific, huh?
Maybe.
It's the word of a Canadian. That's practically the same thing.
Well, that just didn't help.
It will for the rest of them. How about that?
There you go. There's a ringing endorsement to all of our overseas listeners.
Yeah. Ghost Paw actually reached out to me, too. He got the blanket.
Oh, it showed up?
Yeah.
Oh, badass.
He's super excited about it. It was so cool. So happy for him.
Well, it's funny because, I'm the one that, I handle the store stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And so I have the list of the orders that are pending.
Yeah.
And it drives me nuts.
That it's still pending and not there yet?
Yeah, some of that stuff takes longer than other things. It depends on where that vendor's based, and it's free shipping. If you didn't know, the store worldwide is free shipping. Not everything will ship everywhere, but that's to keep the costs reasonable.
Right.
Or as reasonable as we can do them.
As reasonable as possible, yeah.
We're not getting rich here. We're making a small profit. We're not getting rich on these.
we did have to buy a whole new sound system, but that's
a different thing.
Yeah, thanks to the patrons.
Thank you to the patrons, yes. And you can become a patron too.
Yeah.
You can come hang out with us at movie night. You can hear the post-mortem series we've put together for Danny's, the past stories that Danny and Tom have played in. You can get in the NPC of the Month Club.
For those highest tier members.
Yep, where I send you one of my personal NPCs from my character Bible. It's all good stuff. It's a great way to help us and a way for us to give back, which is kind of the worthier part.
Yeah, we'd much rather the Patreon stuff because we want to give back.
And I think I pulled the link off the site, but we used to have the PayPal too, where it's like, yeah, you could just give us money on PayPal, but no, we want to give you something back.
Yeah, we want the Patreon.
Yeah, we would much rather have something to say thank you.
Absolutely.
But aside from, those are the ways that you can use your green paper to help us.
And if you don't want to, it's completely understandable.
And how can they help if they do not want to spend any money?
If you don't want to do the money, again, understandable, but...
Yeah, we don't hold it against you at all.
No, not at all. But if you could, hit those like buttons, spread the word, the reviews on Apple Podcasts, the 5 stars. Who knows why? It just helps. It helps the circulation. Those 4 stars do not help the circulation.
No, only the 5s.
We're okay with the 4 stars. Thank you for them. Definitely give us the feedback and let us know what we're doing right, what we're doing wrong.
So important.
But the 5 stars is what's going to help circulate. So hit those up.
Yep. And tell your friends. If you're out to dinner and you hear some people a couple booths over talking about werewolf.
This happened.
Maybe drop a recommendation. If you're hanging around on social media and someone asks like a werewolf-related question.
There you go.
You
point them in our direction, guys.
Yeah. If you want to answer, that's fine. But go, hey, also, this is a great resource to learn shit.
Sounds good to me.
The host is amazing. The producer's all right.
He's all right.
Hey, the producer is quite funny.
Thank you.
Now, Danny kicks ass.
Yes.
That being funny?
I've just seen you kick it. Look, you want the compliment or not?
Yeah, thanks. I appreciate it.
Man.
We work pretty hard on this damn podcast.
Yeah, we do, and we're very proud of it.
Absolutely. So
I'm proud of you, buddy.
I'm proud of you, too.
Hey, all right.
All right.
Tom's okay.
Yeah, I guess. Well, he's not here to defend himself, so I can do it.
So all that said, you can find a way to our Discord and hang out with us through our website.
Yeah, come hang out with us. You can find the
store.
Come hang out with all the people in the Discord. Everyone here is so much fun.
Yeah, we have a great crew, and hey, you might get brought up on the show.
Yeah.
We've dropped, how many names this episode?
Yeah, already. Look at that.
Or referenced people, or,
It's a good time. We've built an awesome community. We just want you to be part of it.
And that's the bottom line. If you have any questions or anything, you want to email us, rageacrosspodcast@gmail.com. You'll get a hold of me, bottom line. Stuff passed on to everybody else too.
Sure.
But
you're the front line right there.
Yeah, I'm the one generally who's going to get those emails first. Mm-hmm. But anyway, that's about enough of that, I think.
Sure. Yeah, good enough.
And let's get on to a show that has been requested a few times.
Oh, this show we're doing. Okay.
Yeah.
Yes, I know all the requests we've been getting, but okay.
And I thought it would be a good idea to do this with Melissa here.
Well, yeah, it makes sense. Melissa being a storyteller.
Yep, she's a long-time experience with werewolf and is, in fact, a storyteller as well.
And even on our own Discord.
That's right.
You run a game.
Yes, I do.
How's that going, by the way?
It's fantastic.
You want to give a shout-out and play favorites, or no?
I'm
just stirring things up.
Great group of people. Really great. And they're all sort of following me along with this incredible journey, and I am so glad that I haven't had any sort of... Everything has been really positive.
And that's excellent.
Yeah, that's so cool to hear.
Because it can go the other way, but I think maybe we will discuss... We can talk about that in a bit.
Yeah, we'll lead into that.
Yeah. Our main topic today is Session 0.
And probably extremely important.
It's what they say.
I agree. It's very important.
See? They say it.
They.
She's one of the they.
She is.
I am one of the they.
I think he was just mentioning as in a different country.
I dislike the term.
Why?
It just bothers me. I think there are...
Is it kind of just too vague kind of thing? Or
I don't know. There's just something that rubs me the wrong way about the term. There's no reason for it.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I would love to give a logical argument or an alternative. It just bugs me. It's like walkie-talkie.
Oh.
I hate hearing it. It just makes my skin crawl.
Walkie-talkie?
Oh, yeah. It's like, what are you, 4? Call it something else.
Well, what are you supposed to call it?
I don't care. Stop rhyming at me, you creep. I didn't even mean to set you up for that. That's just my position on it.
I'm going to say, what if another roly-poly needs to get a hold of another roly-poly?
You're grounded. I gave you dinner, you son of a bitch.
I'll check you guys later. See you next week.
Oh. God damn it.
So if you were going to call it something, what would you call it? Not Session 0.
No, it's a weird thing. Well, I guess let's talk about what it is.
Okay.
Sure. And I think maybe we'll pinpoint it as we go.
Probably.
It's a hard thing for me to put a finger on and point to that, but let's just go into it. Because there are a lot of things that can happen during this session, during the sets. That's a time when you can take care of preludes.
Sure.
Which I am a fan of. Although, generally speaking, I try to hurry those along when I can.
Yeah, because you don't want to prolong them too much.
True, and ideally, you have built your character by the time it has gotten through my approval process.
Mm-hmm. It's a character already.
Yeah.
What more do you need to know about it?
It should just be a formality so we can get to it. But that's my game.
It's understandable. Other storytellers might see it a little different, right?
Yeah. And actually, on that note, how about you take it away, Melissa? What do you think?
For me, it depends on what I'm trying to accomplish. If it's a table game, I don't generally have a Session 0. The characters have already been approved, and as you said, so it's basically, we're getting down to brass tacks. The characters are probably meeting for the first time. But when I did online, I felt the Session 0 was a little bit more important because they needed to not only meet each other, because we're all spread out all over the place, but also don't know the characters. So, we did the whole let's meet, describe yourselves, sort of put into perspective what sort of pack that you're going to be. And for me as a storyteller, I can tell what we're kind of looking at in terms of who plays his character this way. So I get a sense of their play style as well.
See, that's interesting. I mean, I've run a couple online games in the past. Certainly not the way that that's done these days.
No, it's probably
there's a lot more bells and whistles now.
Yeah.
There's just me and Ventrilo once upon a time. Back then.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, there's so many resources they have access to.
But so I'm saying, I've done it, it's been a while. For me, that's the kind of thing that we've been doing, me, my group and I, for a while. By the time we're ready to go, we're ready to go. I've already individually worked with everybody. Those characters have been approved. Everything's already been set in stone. I've never needed to get everyone together like that. I mean, that's when you start. These characters haven't met yet. They're meeting in the first story. I mean, that's where I've always stood with it.
No, I can see your stance, and I can understand why Melissa has her stance. Again, being online and not knowing these players.
And that makes a difference, too. Because,
not personally,
I have always handpicked my players on those online settings. For example, Melissa, you know full well that I am planning on running a game out of the RA Discord, but that's by invitation only. But you know that because you got an invitation.
Yeah!
Someone's excited.
I am, actually.
It's woefully behind schedule, but it is going to happen.
Yeah, don't worry, I'm excited too. It's going to be a lot of fun.
Yeah. This is my first ever online game.
That you've got to play?
That I've ever ran. I have always been face-to-face.
I didn't know that.
Oh, so the game you are running currently is as a storyteller. This is your first as a storyteller online.
Yes. New SD smell in this case. So I only know very well 3 of the players. So this is my first time really running a game on Roll20, and I only knew 3 of the players really well and their play style. Obviously, Strides is my ST in his game, and Alice is one of the players in that game as well, as is Cosmos. The other 3 players that I now have, I picked up another one, I don't know their play style at all.
So, are you saying this Session 0 that we're trying to rename?
We're not trying to rename it. It's fine.
Are you saying that helped in trying to distinguish what's going to happen with especially those 3 that you don't know their playstyle?
Sure. Yeah, it did actually. I got the sense from that first session, or that session that Porter doesn't want to call 0, I got a sense that we have 3 very experienced players and 2 relatively new to the game. So I had to adjust some of the words accordingly. I had to explain a little more. And it just so happens that those 2 players, one is playing a Theurge, the other one's playing a Ragabash. So it kind of helped that I could guide them a little bit better based on what I experienced.
No, that's an interesting thing. When you say change up the words, well, what do you mean by that? I mean, I know what those words mean, but can you give me an example?
Well, not necessarily change the words so much, but explain things in a deeper way. Because I'm one of these old school storytellers and players, I tend to use Sept and Cairn interchangeably, even though I know that they're very different things. And since one of the players is in fact the Theurge, it was kind of like I had to explain the difference. I also had to explain, the whole concept of, the Sept of Elders. What is a tribal totem as opposed to what is a Sept totem. So knowing that it's relatively new, then I just changed things and adapted around that knowledge.
Okay. But isn't that their responsibility as players? To learn about the game they're trying to play? I
can give them the tool, but I can't force them to read the tool. Does that make sense?
Oh, that's certainly true. I'm preaching the choir here. But that is certainly true. I just think, and I mean, it's interesting for me to hear this because we do things very differently, which isn't a commentary either way.
Right. I mean, they're 2 different storytellers.
Exactly.
You have 2 different styles.
Yeah, they're 2 fucking people. It's fine. But it's interesting to hear that other method and the mentality behind it. And I mean, maybe this comes back to the terms of Session 0, because when people use that term, sure, they're talking about, maybe they're talking about the preludes. They're not always talking about the preludes.
No.
But they're talking about
Well, some people don't do the preludes like you do.
That's true. But they do them in their own way. I mean, you gotta run that shit somehow, however you're going to do it. But they're also talking about almost like a little meet and greet. The idea of what to expect during the game. The idea of people will often, looking for my words here.
I see it.
They will. Well, yeah, but they can't.
I know.
Offer topics that they're uncomfortable with, or things like that.
Okay.
And, I'm a big advocate for, if you have a problem, it's your responsibility to bring that to the storyteller.
Yeah.
I am not a mind reader.
Right.
And I'm concerned with telling a good story. I don't care what's in your heart. I mean, it's just like, to make it as blunt as possible,
And
if you're afraid of the dark, you need to tell me that. Because I'm not sitting here hoping no one's afraid of the dark. I'm interested in telling a story that makes you want to come back every week. If there are snags, you have to bring them to me.
Completely understandable. I mean, yeah, if your responsibility is the story, that's what you're worried about.
That has to come first.
Not what I'm, afraid to do.
Right.
Or see.
And at the same time, if you don't bring that to me...
You don't know any better.
Right. How do you feel about that kind of thing, Melissa?
I agree.
I know this is kind of touchy. We're trying to be careful here.
Well, no, I agree. I make it fairly clear at the beginning of the game that, there are some things that I don't do. This is the world of darkness. I will hand wave over any bleak or dark aspects of the game because I just don't feel comfortable in that, even bringing it up in the story. But if there's anything that they don't agree with, or that they don't like a role that I've made or a role call that I've made, what I usually say to them is, don't argue with me in the middle of the game. Just please don't, because it spoils the flow. Either come to me at the end or the beginning of the next game, or reach out to me on Discord or whatever and sort it out, and I'll explain why I made the call that I did. But I don't want to spend 10, 15 minutes arguing with you only for you to still get mad because I haven't changed my mind. And those are things that I cover in the prelude, like at the beginning. Then I do the meet and greet. In fact, in this particular case, I did do the meet and greet. I felt that the meeting was important not only for the characters to introduce each other themselves, but also for players to meet me and see my background from where I'm coming from. And it seems to have really set a good foundation for all the players.
Well, and I think that's with an online group, the people that you don't know.
Mm-hmm.
I think doing that as the players is a great idea. In terms of characters, well, it's going to vary by story,
right?
So I can't even.
Yeah, you just got to wait for that game to happen if that's the
right.
case.
That's just going to depend on so many factors.
Yeah,
but something you brought up, which I wasn't even thinking about at the time, but I completely agree with, and I actually do. I also do, is what I mean, is that the explanation of house rules and systems.
Yeah.
I am a big proponent for not abusing the golden rule, and at the same time, I have done a lot of golden rule tweaking to certain systems.
To better your storytelling style.
Yeah, sure. I mean, if we're putting it that way, I like to encourage the creativity of my players in terms of actions. So I allow them to use rage and gnosis.
In the same turn.
Yeah, you're not supposed to. Golden rule, fuck it. Because I want to empower Danny to be able to make the jack move across the room and body slam the guy who's about to kill his packmate out of the way, and then administer the mother's touch shot to keep the packmate alive. I want him to be an all-star like that, if he can come up with it.
Mm-hmm.
People have those things. They have their setup rules and things like that.
You told us that in the beginning, too.
Yep.
Because we were reading it, you're not supposed to do that. And you're like, no, this, in my game, that can happen as long as it's, you're doing it for the creative reasons. Go for it.
Yeah. So yeah, those personal systems, that's definitely the place for it, and I completely agree with you. And I mean, I think it kind of goes without saying with you don't argue with your storyteller.
No. Especially not in game.
No, certainly not a game. I don't care what your name is. Yeah, because you're right. It ruins the flow of a game. And it can shift the mood of a game pretty severely and pretty immediately.
Yes.
When you have that player who crosses a line or has a little bit of a fit or whatever the case may be,
mm-hmm.
that idea, it will destroy the morale of a game and leave you with that little pit of awkwardness pretty damn quickly.
And not only for the storyteller, but the rest of the players.
Well, that's what I'm saying. It spoils it's like someone peed in the pool. We were playing Marco Polo, we were having a good time, and someone peed in the pool. Well, now we're not playing Marco Polo having a good time. We're thinking about the urine on us. Is that about right, Melissa?
Well, I try not to think about it, but okay.
So you're the one who did it, huh?
Always, yeah.
Oh.
No. I mean,
freely.
Yeah, it's even funny that I've even taken some rules from other, like, from Strides games. Some of the things that Strides allows, I had never considered in all the years that I've storytold. Whatever.
Esteed.
And I really like some of his calls. So I have adapted my game that I'm running now with some of his rules.
I'm sure that makes it easier for him.
Yeah.
Right? And that's really cool. I think that's a great opportunity because, you know, full disclosure, I've never sat in on any of Melissa's games. I don't know what she can do. But I have sat in on Strides. Mm-hmm. And Strides is a talented motherfucker.
I agree.
He's very good. And I'm willing to believe, knowing you, Melissa, as I do, that you are also good. You know, I don't know that. I've never sat in. But I believe that you are a talented storyteller.
I was nervous to run for Strides because I thought he set the bar so high. I don't know how I could possibly match it.
Wow. Okay.
That's, you know what? Look at that. Look at you. Go Strides.
Yeah, right. Good on you, buddy.
Yeah.
Now everybody's going to want to play in his games, and then somebody will get pushed out. And
see, now I'm not afraid of you. I think you're very good, buddy.
Oh, we had that the Tale of Three Wolves. That was a lot of fun.
Yep. Yeah, if you hadn't listened to that, you can go back to that. Me and Strides. I don't want to say go at it, but
no, it was deciding and
little storyteller
ideas,
detente kind of thing.
Yeah.
Cribbus was there too. He's
a good storyteller too.
Yeah, he's another talented. Because we got some talent in this Discord.
Yes, we do.
Point is, you know, I believe that of you, but I haven't had any personal experience.
That was one of my favorite episodes that you guys did, was the storyteller one. I still listen to it just to make sure that because their ideas were ingenious.
They had all three of those guys, Porter, Charybdis, and Strides, had some really cool ideas. That was a fun one to put together.
Yeah, it was. It was a blast.
Yeah.
Again, what a great opportunity to be able to
learn and adapt.
Yes, from a peer like that. You know, like I've sat in on games, and been bored to tears. I've played in games and been bored to tears.
Wow.
And I hate to sound like a prick about it, but it's like, you're doing the best you can, and that's great, but you've got a long way to go.
That's fair. I feel spoiled. Well, full disclosure, Porter's the only storyteller I've been a part of.
So I could be complete trash. You don't know any better.
But at the same time, I have listened in on some of these games in our Discord, and if I could, I would love to be part of some of these games. I can't.
No time.
I don't have the time, but they are still fun to listen to. So I'm happy I've got the opportunities that I have to at least listen in. I keep my mouth shut. I let them play, but in Melissa's game, you just recently started, so I haven't had that chance yet. But I'm looking forward to the time I do.
I have my players completely confused. It's great.
Oh, so you're doing it on purpose. Okay.
Yeah.
That was a fun little... We got way off track, but that was fun. It was nice.
Yeah. Just not way off track, but a little.
A little bit. But
track's still here.
Yeah, that's fine. But yeah, that's the session. So, that's a good time again to go over the house rules, to go over systems, for when you do have new players, to let them know, if there's a problem, stifle it until after game, because you don't want to ruin the flow of the game. And also, you probably want to have some time to rethink your stuff before you
go on to the next one.
Well, look, there's the nice way to say it and there's the real way to say it.
Mm-hmm.
Don't argue with your fucking storyteller.
Yeah.
You already lost. You're wrong.
It's the storyteller's rule.
It's their game. It's their rule. Period.
Yes.
And if you have a problem with the thing, and maybe, we're human too. We make mistakes. So maybe you're right. But right now, when it just happened, you're pissed about it and you're going to come out heated.
Maybe wait.
And you're already wrong. So use this time to cool down, to have a proper discussion about it and not an argument.
Yeah, the difference between those two is such a big deal that a lot of people still don't understand.
Yep. Just
don't argue.
Don't argue.
Have a discussion, sure.
The game's over. You're calm. And if you're not, maybe you're calm tomorrow. And then bring it to somebody.
Sure.
Melissa?
Yeah.
Is he wrong?
No. No, he's not wrong. No.
He's still with us?
Yeah, I know. No, he's not wrong. I mean, a good example was at my game, the player lost his thumb in the heat of combat.
I'm sorry, the player or the character?
The character.
Okay.
Sorry, again, I use the terms interchangeable.
Those are not interchangeable. Danny has both arms. Jaeger does not.
Right.
The player
click
character
the mouse too hard and lost the thumb.
And I said to him, okay, it's sunk to the bottom and is now fish food. He's like, okay, no problem. And I said, so it's going to take a little while for it to regenerate. And I said, and then I thought about it later that evening, and I'm like, no, I don't think that's right. I know there's rules on regeneration. So I flipped open my book, read the rules on regeneration again, and went, it would have come back in like 5-10 minutes. Whoops. So I ended up telling him in the next game that his thumb would have regenerated almost immediately. But yeah, he didn't argue with me. He didn't fuss about it. He just accepted it and kept going.
Danny looks a little.
I guess maybe I'm just jealous because mine didn't grow back.
Yeah.
Aww.
Well,
it was silver. I know.
Well, also your throat was ripped out.
Yeah, the throat ripped out too. So the body had to decide which one's more important. Which one's going to save my life?
And also the rules on that
can vary.
It varies wildly by edition.
That too, yeah.
In fact, sometimes a book will contradict itself. So it's always fun to make those decisions.
Oh.
to choose which version you want to run with and what,
Mm-hmm.
Was it Changing Ways?
Yeah.
Has that section, and it's like
with scar tissue and stuff too.
Yeah, it's like some of that I like, some of that I don't.
So that's
what I mean. I do my own thing with that too anyway, but yeah.
That varies on storyteller.
Yeah. But again, it's back to, you don't argue with the storyteller. If there's a problem, you wait. Now, we've heard about things, stuff that's not acceptable for people that the concepts they don't want to deal with. And
the storyteller doesn't want to deal with the
the players don't want to deal with. And this is like it's a tricky subject. And it's tricky to talk about.
Right.
And
I'm not here to offend, but.
No, and I don't love that we're doing it because it's kind of awkward.
A little bit.
Like for example, and we could edit this out if it's not cool, but Melissa, you've got a thing with spiders.
Yes. Big time.
There could be a scenario, and I'm not saying that there is, but we're just going to run with hypothetically, where, if you're sitting down in my game and you're like, no, I got a thing with spiders, I can't deal with anything with spiders. Now, when I was a storyteller, I have a choice to acknowledge that or not. And no one is looking to traumatize anybody. That's certainly not what the point of this game is.
No, but at the same time, we know it's the world of darkness.
Right. Like, does this mean I'm not allowed to use the Anasi now? No were spiders are allowed in the game?
It's a touchy subject. We're trying to go as vague as possible here, but...
And I think spiders is and I chose this one, I kind of threw under the bus here, I'm sorry, Melissa. I chose this one because spiders are fairly innocuous.
Mm-hmm.
We're not dealing with...
Yes. Yep.
Certain...
Right.
Yeah.
Yep, no reason to go any farther.
No one's going to censor the word spider.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I don't like spiders. I'm utterly terrified of spiders. I see an image of one pop up in the Discord, and I immediately want to shut Discord down or walk away from my desk. It's that scary for me. But I can play World of Warcraft and kill several thousand spiders and be joyful doing it. I just don't like looking at real ones.
So if you're in the middle of a game and all of a sudden there's an Ananasi coming at you, you're not flipping your computer over and refusing to play the game anymore.
No, because I know the difference between something that is real and something that is not real. And an Ananasi, as gross and horrible as it is, will never appear in one of my games because I don't like it. But if Porter wants to throw an Ananasi at us, that's his game, that's his choice, and I accept that by being in his game. Does that make sense?
Absolutely.
That makes all the sense in the world, and I love that you said it.
Yeah.
It's a lot easier when she says it compared to us.
Well, I
mean, we're the host of this show.
I have a level of cantankerous that I cultivate. And I like my level of cantankerous. Mm-hmm. But I also know...
Right.
sometimes that makes things come out in a way that, So, I'm glad she said it.
No. But it makes all the sense because she understands, and I'll just say me too, that if I have a problem with spiders and I know you've got spiders coming in this game, it's not my story. Tough shit for me.
Well, and also, interestingly enough, me using the word spiders doesn't make one appear in your mouth.
That's also true.
Spiders.
Oh, what the hell? Where'd that come from? Yep.
Ring that bell, Danny. I believed you.
See?
Where did that come from?
Well, they can't see me that I actually tried picking like some guy out of my teeth.
Oh, God.
That did happen.
Yeah, see?
I'll give you that, but and that's the thing is, it's a line you gotta hold. Let's move to something like in terms of like the seventh generation.
Mm-hmm.
Okay,
maybe a little something.
It's
a little darker.
It's a lot darker. We're going from spiders to stuff with kids.
Yeah,
and it's a sensitive topic, and so there are people who have had experiences.
Sure,
and nobody's looking to make someone relive that.
No,
but at the same time,
it is part of the game. It is part of the lore,
and you cannot use it, but.
Yeah, but where do you draw the line?
That becomes the thing. Where do you draw the line when you're hampering the ability to tell a story? And also how things are used. Because we've touched on subjects like this in our games. Mm-hmm. And, there's a difference between alluding to something happening and showing something happening.
Right. You can always make the implications.
Right. In your guys' scenario, I believe, no, it wasn't in your guys' scenario. It was, unpleasantries in the Virginia game with the Sleight of Claw.
Okay.
Again, it was a similar story. A kinfolk she didn't come home.
Okay.
The daughter of one of your kinfolk friends has not been home. And this is strange. So there you are, use the pack are running out looking for little R.J. Becker. Mm-hmm. Looking for Roy's daughter. And you find her in a room hidden behind a bookcase in her chemistry teacher's home. Mm-hmm. And I don't have to say anything else.
Right. I
described the room. There's a dresser here. There's this. There she is. Mm-hmm. But
maybe even crying.
Yeah. We didn't.
Yeah, but that's all you need to say.
Right. I'm not going to describe anything you can't see on television. And I mean, just fucking NBC. We're not even going crazy here. To do more,
but you're implying that all of that to get the sense of the feel of the story, and again, it's the world's darkness.
Right. You don't want to offend anybody. You don't want to bring anything up. You don't want anybody fucking complex. That's certainly not what you want to do.
No,
but
not at all.
What kind of asshole goes into detail about that kind of thing in the first place?
It's so unnecessary.
And I worry about things like that when creativity can be hindered. Because now this is a very specific, and this is a dark one, but we go back to spiders. We go back to the dark. We go back to people who have a thing with blood. And I don't understand what possessed you to sit at a table. In the world of darkness, if you have a thing against blood.
Yeah, just the world of darkness in general, regardless of which game.
Right. But, it's that session 0 is a time for those things to be brought up. But I think it's also important to not handcuff your storyteller.
I agree.
And Melissa, I think the spider example is the great one because, again, you know that it's a fantasy setting and that us talking about spiders don't make them real, even though you hate spiders. Right?
Yes. Yeah.
But there are people out there who will say, I hate spiders, you can't use spiders. And that player needs to kind of get over that shit.
Yeah, because that's absolutely handcuffing the storyteller then.
Right. There's a middle ground to that sort of thing. Yeah. That if it has to be discussed, and I don't personally feel that it needs to, but I come from a different time. Mm-hmm. if there's something that strong, you have to bring it up, and you have a responsibility to bring it up, because, again, no one's trying to traumatize anybody.
No.
But...
You're just telling a story.
Yeah. My goal is for you to have a good time, to tell a story that will stick fucking with you, that you will remember 5-10 years from now and tell people about. I want you to be back in this seat the next time there's a game. I want you to be excited about it. Go home and dream about this damn game. That's what I want to happen.
That has happened on several occasions.
No. I want to see tears in the eyes of my players when I kill off that NPC they love so much. And I'm fortunate enough that I've gotten that to happen on more than one occasion.
That's nuts. I'm so afraid of when that's going to happen for us.
It's going to get hard.
I know. The longer we play it, too, it's just, oh man, it's going to get even worse.
Yeah, right?
I know it, but I'm excited for that to happen. Because
it's about the journey.
It's about the journey, and you're not hindered by some of that stuff. I mean, luckily, it's just me and Tom, and there's not much of that kind of stuff that we have a problem with.
Right, I can say whatever I want. You guys. But I've also known you, and I know you very well.
Yeah, and I think that's a bigger deal, too.
And I think that's great that you brought that up, because I agree. In an online situation, it can be trickier, because not everybody knows
exactly what I was going to say. It might be a little bit more difficult for someone like Melissa to do it because she doesn't know some of the players as well as, like the ones she knows personally. She'll know a couple of them, but again, you don't have that personal relationship that you've had with others the same amount of time.
Exactly. So when I was running for my friends, like my personal friends, that would travel up from Toronto to come and see me, and I would run Werewolf for them, I knew I could get away with pretty much anything, because I knew where their comfort levels were. When you have new players that you don't know, even on a personal level, I usually stick to the safe course and just imply. Just because I know that some people just don't respond well even to the idea of some of these darker themes. And I get that I'm not clipped. My wings aren't clipped telling the story. It's just I need to pivot a little to make it fun for them, because the last thing I want is for players to say, you know what, you as a storyteller have stepped over that line for me. I want them to have fun. I want them to come back. I want them to remember the game, because that is the best experience for me, is when people get up from the table. It's like, I can't wait until next session.
No, we completely agree there. It's just about, and again, with I don't want to say strangers, but with, people you don't know that well, it's about finding that space. And I think trust has a lot to do with it too.
Big time.
As much as we talk about this, they don't know you either.
And they're the ones supposed to be putting more trust in you than you are of them.
And that's a really good point. And
as the storyteller.
No, I hear what you're saying, Danny. Thank fuck for you on this one. Because here's the thing: is you're sitting here around the table with two storytellers, two long-term storytellers. Mm-hmm. So we've got your player's perspective here. That's fucking invaluable for something like that.
It should be.
Like, you're welcome.
Yes.
But
okay.
no,
yes.
Thank you for it. It's a big deal, because I wouldn't have even thought of that. I didn't even consider that until you said it.
And my thought process there is because I'm not the one telling the story. Yes, the story is about me, and I'm the one that's, guiding it in certain directions, but you have the story to tell. So if I'm saying I can't handle this, and I gotta say in the middle of your story, one, it throws your flow off. Two, where are you supposed to go from there? Because you already had your thought process of what you're doing in your head. I canceled all of that.
Right.
And now what? Yeah. Now we're both screwed.
Exactly. And I think I want to stick with the spider thing.
Yes, I think it's a better idea.
It's like the safest one we can do.
And it can be applied for all of the others as well.
Right. It absolutely can be. Yeah. It's a really easy one we can do without getting into trouble.
Right. We're not stepping over any lines here.
Right. So,
but again, we're implying, and then that's all you need.
Because, I'm not going to throw an Ananasi at you guys arbitrarily.
No.
That's not how I do business. I'm gonna string that along. I'm gonna hint at it. I'm gonna allude to it, and that Ananasi is going to be an important figure in the story.
Sure.
So yeah, if you guys are walking through the cave, for example, and come up to all these, like, aggressively large spider webs, and have not put two and two together already because your characters wouldn't.
Sure.
Which is good plan on your part. But, you know, in Melissa, if you were to hear these spider webs and go, I can't do this, you've crossed the line, or whatever, you know, you can't talk about this stuff, I told you it's on my dangerous don't list, or whatever, right? Or if you didn't even, and you're just telling me about this now, well, clearly my endgame involves an Ananasi.
Right.
My chronicle's over.
Yeah. I'm say yeah.
The whole thing is done.
Yeah, you do a lot of foreshadowing, so if that's one of the foreshadows, and like, oh, I don't like this anymore, I can't handle it. Well, okay, well, I guess.
And you have a right to do that. To say, I don't want to play anymore. You have a right to do that. Mm-hmm. But I mean, no one's trying to take that away. But yeah, to have an issue like that and you don't bring it up until point X.
When it's already way past the point of no return.
Exactly.
Yeah.
You know, it's like, oh, well, this was an 8-part chronicle, so...
Sorry for the last
Game over, everybody.
That would suck.
Yeah.
I wouldn't do it.
No.
I'm a stubborn asshole. I wouldn't do it. I'd just kill the character.
Oh, wow. Well.
It's about what's best for the table.
I was going to say, yeah. It's probably the worthier part.
Because, again, and that's something I think that makes a good segue.
Okay.
Because, you talk about Session Zero, it's those things, it's the dangerous don'ts lists, it's the what you can expect from the game, and maybe it's even, scheduling, getting down, a meet and greet with players. It's a lot of things that I guess are important before you start actually playing. But, look, we got a player, we got 2 storytellers here.
Yeah.
So let's talk.
I'm listening.
Right? You have situations like that. You have situations that will come up. There can be conflict. These things happen. Mm-hmm. I've seen conflict in long-standing groups every now and then. A scene gets too tense, and someone got a little too into it. Or, a little too in character, or something.
That happened.
Yeah, it did.
Sorry.
But it wasn't just you.
No,
I've had that happen in other places.
I know I've done it. Yeah.
So, sometimes things get heated, sometimes shit happens. I mean, we're all human, we all fuck up. It's
right,
fine.
But then you're like, alright, I just need 30 seconds, let me cool off, I apologize for everyone, yep.
And that goes, for the players, it goes for the storyteller. We talk about trust, we talk about respect. We should also mention compromise.
Yeah.
I
didn't even think about it, but yeah, good point.
It's...
Where's the middle ground? Like, because again, you still have a story to tell. Maybe I went a little too intense here. Let me take it a step back so I can still maybe paint a lighter picture, but you still get the idea of what I'm trying to say.
Sure. We'll go even further back. Let's say it's time to make our character selections.
Okay.
All right. And I think a great example is, we bring up our former producer, our old producer Joey. She came into the game late. I mean, she was a new addition, came into the game late.
Right.
But game was in progress, a couple chronicles in when she joined the group.
Right.
And
she had moved here from another state, so we're,
Right. But it came time for that, and she asked me, what auspice are you lacking? Now, she and I go way back.
Yes.
So that's a great way to help out.
It sure is.
But if she had said, I have a great idea for a Ragabash or a Philodox, mm-hmm. and I said, well, hey, we have a Philodox already, but, the group could really use a Thurge. How do you feel about a Thurge or an Aron? Mm-hmm. That should be able to be a discussion.
A discussion, yes, not an argument.
And also not a yes because you said so storyteller, sir. It shouldn't be that either.
True.
Just to be clear.
I see what you're saying, but at the same time...
But there are people who will take their ball and go home.
That's ridiculous.
And that's where I'm getting at. The people who go, well, I want to play... If I can't play a Philodox, I'm not playing at all. If I can't play a Red Talent, I'm not playing at all.
Especially in, like, a smaller group like that. Hell, any group like that. Like, it's stuff... I get it if there's, like, 5 or 6, and you have one of everything, sure. Or maybe if there's 4... Maybe discuss whether or not you should be that 5th one, rather than having a multiple or a multiple of one.
And that's the thing is, and you've gotten quiet on us again, Melissa. And I'm very scared.
No. I'm listening.
Okay, but there should be room for those conversations. Not the arguments, not the I'm taking my ball and going home, not that you're going to do what I say because I said it, but there should be room to talk about that.
Find the middle ground.
That shouldn't be hard to do. This is a game based on communication. There needs to be communication.
Right. You ever had something like that go on, Melissa?
To be honest, I know this sounds crazy. I haven't, actually.
What?
Everyone has always chosen the auspice that they wanted, and we never really had a whole. We always had everyone either wanted to play Ragabash and got the Ragabash. Everybody who wanted to play the Theurge got the Theurge. There was no squabbling over who was going to play the Philodox or the whatever. I've never actually been in a situation. Now, I think in Stride's game, I did want to play the Theurge because I have the most experience playing a Theurge, and I love Theurges. But Stride said to me, he goes, do you mind playing the Philodox? And I'm like, okay, I'm fine with that. I like Philodoxes too. He says, because the girl who wants to play the Theurge has never played one before and really wants to give it a go.
See, there's the middle ground.
Yeah.
Well,
so I was like,
there's
fine.
the rationale.
The rationale, the discussion between the storytelling player or the two players or whatever. But, there was a discussion you had, and it wasn't an argument, or it wasn't, if I don't get what I want, I'm leaving. Yeah,
because I'm not so... I just want to play the game, I just wanted to play the game.
And then that's, I think, something to underline. We're talking to someone, you're right at home here, people who love the game.
Mm-hmm.
There are people who like the game. There are people who are trying the game. But it's something I've said to you guys,
on several occasions.
Several occasions. In character, I say, the game is about you, but the world doesn't revolve around you. But to take that attitude and out of character concept, it's about everybody. Nothing here is about you.
No, it's about the table.
Yeah.
It's about everyone around the table.
It's not the me show. It's about everybody. And I think that's something that newer players need to keep in mind, even though it sounds like I'm I'm not
hounding on them.
Yeah, I'm not taking shots at everybody, but it's something to keep in mind is that it's a game for everybody. And sometimes
sacrifices need to be made.
Yeah, sometimes shit's gonna happen you're not gonna like, but we live in the real world and we're adults. And there's a way to deal with it and a way not to. And I think for some people that is just to walk away, but it seems particularly silly.
And selfish.
Yeah, because you're leaving the rest of the team down.
Yeah. Now, because of you, that game very easily didn't get off the ground.
Yeah, it could fall apart because of something
and it's one less game going around, and that's selfish.
I mean, this is personal opinion, right? I think you owe it to your group, even if you just met them, and your storyteller, to try to see it through.
Yeah. At least that part, because if it didn't work, at least you tried.
Right? If I don't like where a story is going immediately, my solution is not to stop showing up. My solution is to see where this is going.
Mm-hmm.
And maybe this is easier for me to say as a storyteller, because I know this is how I want things done, or I've had situations in the past where I have a player go, I don't know if this game's for me. This is one of the online games I ran. It was someone who had never roleplayed before.
Okay.
And he's like, I don't know if I like this game.
At least he says something.
Yeah, and I go, well, give me another story.
So you knew, that way you can decide how you want to write the story to try and keep them in.
Right. And in this way I can go, look, if you don't want to keep playing, give me another story. I will write your exit into the game. This way it's part of the story, but at the same time I'll give you an out, so, maybe, because, you're just getting started.
Mm-hmm.
You know what those beginner stories are like.
Yes. Yes, we do.
There's certain hoops you just got to jump through, You're going to have to eat your peas. I'm sorry. And, so, he didn't like peas. But, he agreed. He stuck. He says, okay, I'll give you the other game. Well, the other game, now we moved on to the entree. Now we're eating steak. And he's like, oh, well, this is better than the peas. I'll stick around. Okay.
Good on you for being able to reel them back in.
Well, and I didn't do anything different, but I knew the story's going to pick up.
he didn't hear everything yet.
Right. So it's like, let's just give me another one or two so you can see where this is going. Because you're not seeing enough yet. You're at the open house, but you just walked in the front door. You can't tell me you don't like the bathroom. You haven't been to the bathroom. How do you know the kitchen's too small, asshole? You have yet to leave the front door.
Yeah.
You're staring at the closet.
Yeah.
Hopefully it's a nice closet if you haven't moved yet.
Well.
Hey, I say that and I know what's happened in my house.
I know. Stealing your layout.
That's fair.
I was exactly thinking of your house when I was doing this.
Good.
So if you're in a house with the closet's immediately in front of you when you open a door, you can call Daniel Tyson, who is selling his house, at area code 810.
I hope that's not really someone's number, dude.
Statistically, it's gotta be.
I know statistically it's somebody's number. Oh my god. It's definitely not my number, because there's no way in hell you'd ever remember it.
I don't even have my phone in front of me.
I know. That's why I said it.
I figure you're going to slur the last couple numbers of that just to save somebody some trouble.
I'll try. Oh boy.
Or you're just going to cut.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I figure. I figure they'll beep. I'm counting on that.
So there was 867-5309.
Yeah, that's the thing. I don't want to make another Jenny situation. That really was someone's number.
At the time, sure.
Oh, it really was.
867-5309?
Oh, yeah. There was a lot of people's numbers when that song came out.
Oh, my God.
That was a problem.
I know if you call it now, it's like a hotline kind of thing.
Which is funny, but back then...
Oh, it wasn't, I'm sure.
No, it was several people's numbers. In fact, it didn't... You know how they give fake numbers on TV and movies now?
Mm-hmm. That's
There's
now...
a reason for that.
Oh, 555 help.
Didn't used to be that way.
555 help?
Wow, didn't. What are we doing here? What's happening?
You reeled someone who didn't want to play anymore, but you reeled them back in.
Right, but again, that was through discussion. It was through the, hey, instead of just getting up and walking away and never coming back. Right? Because if he decided it wasn't for him, I had written a vignette during combat that he would have been killed in combat.
Okay.
To give closure to that particular section. We can use his absence as part of the story now, instead of just mysteriously one person's gone and you've got to figure it out. And, Shirley, I don't want to say Shirley A-Star because, who knows who's telling what.
Mm-hmm.
But certainly as a player, as a storyteller, you could discuss an issue and at least go that far. To go give it one more shot. You're pissed off about something right now. Maybe you're pissed off about something right now. But certainly you're probably not going to be next time. So at least give us the one next time to see if the issue can be fixed or to see if it's really what you think it is or whatever the issue may be. But at that point, you're not leaving your group in the lurch. You're not screwing over your storyteller.
Yeah, you're not being disrespectful either.
Right? And especially in a time like this, when things are more and more taken online because of the beer bug, we have...
First time I've heard it called that.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
It's hilarious. Thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome. Yeah, because of that, people have moved more and more to online. And so you do get situations where you don't know each other as well, where people don't give it the extra chance. You're on your side of the computer. You can play WoW or Tetris or whatever while it's going through on disc. They're not going to know.
You shouldn't, because that's just...
No, you shouldn't, because it's disrespectful. But if you're not into it like that, and surely you can give it that last story a try.
Mm-hmm.
I don't advocate doing other stuff at all. No, that.
Not at all.
I won't talk to people when they're in game and on the RA Discord.
No, I know.
It's like, oh man, hey, Cole, hit me up when you're done with game.
No.
I'm not going to DM you during. You need to be focused there.
Yeah. I remember you and I were both listening on the game, and we'll be messaging each other, but we won't dare to tell anybody else.
No,
yeah.
Absolutely not. I've yelled at people for doing that. You're in game. Quit talking to me.
I remember that. It was hilarious.
Like, what's wrong with you? Was your Dark Ages character sending a text to the fucking admin of his Discord server?
Sure was.
No, he wasn't, you jackass. Focus up. Let's slay the dragon or whatever. I don't play Dark Ages.
I don't get it. How about you, Melissa? You ever have a situation like that?
And if not, sure, you have an opinion.
Where somebody was distracted?
No, as far as this isn't for them, what would you do? Or, something like along the lines of, I don't want this, so you...
Yeah, we've talked about a lot of stuff here. Yeah, thanks for listening to the podcast.
I was running a game, and they were all players that I didn't know. I knew one of them. And he had reached out to me through, I don't probably have it in the States, Meetup. And apparently a friend of his had never played Werewolf before, wanted to play Werewolf, but knew about World of Darkness. So she knew the rules, she just hadn't ever played Werewolf. Okay. And so I'm like, yeah, sure, I can run it. I mean, I was getting the vibe to run again. So I got together with him and her, and then she brought along a couple of new friends, and I could tell right away that one of the girls that she brought was clearly not coming back.
Okay.
Like, that she was just looking at me like I had, 6 heads.
Okay. So
I was explaining what werewolf was, different forms, the different tribes, the different abilities, the auspices. I was going through, step by step by beautiful step. And she was looking at me like I had lost my cotton-picking mind. Like, how could I possibly dreamed up this? And I'm like, okay, so what are you thinking? Because I honestly wanted to know what her thinking was. And she said to me, she goes, I don't know about this. And I said, look, if you want, I can make up an NPC for you. You can try it out. And if it's not for you, it's not for you. It's okay. It's not for everyone. But at least you could say you've tried it. And I think I made her a child of Gaia. And she just didn't seem to... She didn't engage. She clearly did not want to engage. And I'm like, okay, well, I've done my best as the storyteller, bring her in, but if I can't connect, then it's not doing any of us any good. Because I'm spending more time on her than I am on the rest of the other players who really want to be here.
No, that's definitely, it's a good point.
Yeah, you don't want to take away from everybody just because of one person.
Exactly. And I mean, for good or ill,
don't tend to thy sickness to...
Don't suffer thy people to tend thy sickness.
Yeah, I was trying to say it fast before you said your thing, so I fucked it up, okay?
But I mean, that goes both ways, definitely. For good or for ill. Whether it's because of a disciplinary issue or to try to get somebody engaged. Again, it's all about finding that balance. But we've been a little. I don't know if we've been a little hard on anybody, but we've
tried not to.
We've talked a lot about players.
Okay.
About situations the players have when there can be problems with players. But this also goes both ways. Because
the storyteller has a responsibility.
Yes, he does. He or she. You're welcome, Melissa.
Thank you.
Well, the storyteller does have to, but the responsibility, I believe, first should come to the story, to the game. For me, integrity of the game is paramount, but that doesn't mean...
Agreed. That's number one. Number two should be your players, then.
I'll agree to that, yeah. But at the same time, that doesn't mean... We say don't argue with your storyteller. We say you're wrong already if you argue with your storyteller.
Right, but
that doesn't mean your storyteller is always right.
Right, but if you're the storyteller, don't abuse that.
Right.
Don't be an asshole.
There are ways... I think back to, and this was with a group of friends, and I want to preface this by saying I think we were 14 or 15.
So you already were being stupid, because that's what teenagers do.
Dumb kid, yeah. I wanted to preface that it was dumb kid shit.
That's fair.
But to where a minor dust up between friends resulted in me killing a guy's character.
Ooh.
Oh, at you as the storyteller?
Yeah. I was mad at him, so the NPC killed his character.
Oh, that's rough, dude. That's an asshole move.
Yeah, that's fucked up. That's not okay.
I've ever done that.
Again, I'm prefacing I was like 14.
He was 14, 15.
That's why I'm making sure to... But, and here's the thing, though, is I realized that.
Mm-hmm.
And that same day, we had a game that went under a study hall. And that's when it happened.
Oh, God.
So, before the fucking school day was over, I had gone to that friend and said, look, I am sorry that was out of line and it didn't happen. Your character's not dead. I will never do that again, and I'm sorry.
Good on you for
realizing. Yeah. But yeah, I should have done it to begin with. But people get heated and people make mistakes. Right. That's the point.
I'm willing to bet a lot of people would have gone back and done the apology, though.
I think a lot of people wouldn't have sat back down at the table either.
Also,
yeah, he came back.
That's good. From a really shitty story to a nice feel-good story. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Yay!
I had witnessed one, and I think I've told you about this, Danny.
Probably.
I witnessed a storyteller do something that I felt was pretty well unconscionable. And I'm going to try to tell the story with as few details to bog us down as possible.
Okay.
But Melissa, I would love to hear your reaction to this one. You ready?
I'm ready.
All right. I was playing in this game, and the characters, the players, it was an ambush scenario. Patrol coming, and they're in the woods, and, the players have the high ground, no one knows they're there, they've got stealth, they've got everything ready. They get first attack, initiatives.
Oh, okay, I know this one is.
Yeah, okay, you know the story.
Sorry, I'm still excited.
Yep. And so, my character,
mm-hmm.
and I'm first. I got first. I got Spirit of the Fray.
Sure.
I got camouflage kicking.
Hmm.
They don't know we're there. It's the dead of night. So I go to make my move. I got a bow. I knock the thing back, and I take my shot. And we do the damage. It's rolled. The next person goes to take his turn, and the storyteller goes, wait. Hold on a second, guys.
Oh, God. I can see this coming.
He goes over to the bookshelf, grabs one of my source books. In fact, he grabs Get a Fenris Tribe book. The Tribe Book 1, the second edition book.
Mm-hmm.
Pulls, flips it over to the Loki's Smile gift. The hidden, possibly fictional camp of Loki's Smile.
Yep.
To the gift that they have that lets them, on a touch, send someone into a fit of laughter for the entire scene. And says, your turn didn't happen. My sentry over here, you had Spirit of the Fray, so he went before you because he outbid you. And he spent his turn and he ran up to you and he used this gift. So you're out for the rest of the scene. Now,
bullshit.
Right. Now we're ignoring the fact that the NPCs didn't know we were there.
You're ignoring a lot of things.
Right. Ignoring the camouflage gift so he could just see me without doing a perception roll.
Yeah.
Ignoring the roll for the gift, ignoring the fact that combat had already started, there was already an outcome that he didn't like. He wanted us to run from the encounter. He thought we would run, and we didn't. So, now I was pissed.
I'm sure, because I would have been too. I probably would have left.
Because I'm kind of sitting here, shaking my head as if it was my character, and I'm pissed.
Yeah. He was a new storyteller. And so I'm pissed.
It doesn't make it right.
No, it doesn't make it right. It doesn't excuse it. But I was willing to help him. This was a one-off story to begin with.
Just to get his feet wet as storyteller?
Yeah, it kind of like that. It was it was a tribal one-off. I think I've talked about that series before.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was a tribal one-off thing. So, okay, I'm willing because I know he doesn't know, he doesn't realize what he just did. The magnitude of wrong.
There's a lot wrong with that.
Yeah, and I'm like, I know there's no way he realizes that it wasn't just one, but you made like 8 mistakes here. But the thing is, the next game, we were short a player.
So somebody else
didn't come back because of that.
Not even the one who it happened to.
Right.
I kind of don't blame that person.
Neither do I. And I mean, don't get me wrong, when everyone left, because the game was still at my place, I read them the fucking riot act.
Most assuredly so.
But I wasn't going to do it in front of everybody else.
Respect.
I had been their storyteller for 3 years. I didn't even give my feedback in front of them. Because I knew if they would, hey, that was a pretty good story. Hey, I like that story a lot. And I go, well, this, and this.
Yeah.
That's all they're going to hear. So I'd wait till they left before I even gave them my feedback.
Nice of you.
Thank you. I want want them to enjoy that game, and then I can tell him where he can be better.
Mm-hmm.
Here's what you got to work on.
This, and this.
That's your third story. What do you want? You're not Hemingway. It's fine. You'll improve. Now you know where to improve.
Right.
But you get to learn that in a way that doesn't undermine your efforts in front of the rest of your group. So I waited until they left, and I fucking laid into them. But again, there's a prime example of a storyteller
doing it wrong.
Yeah, fucking up.
Yeah.
So how do you feel about that, Melissa? I know you haven't heard that story.
I haven't heard that story, but I would have been rightly pissed. Now, I know as a storyteller, when I first started, I made those kind of blunders before. Like, I was like, God damn it, how dare you kill my NPC that I worked so hard on? How dare you? So I made my NPCs a little harder to kill than I had on my page. And I admit, now, after years of being an ST, that was the very wrong thing to do. And now it's just like, you want to kill my NPC? That's your job. As the player characters, that job is to kill the NPCs that I throw in front of you. But yeah, no, that's just stretching things out a little bit.
Yeah, that's my scenario. That was like several different.
There's so many things wrong with that.
No, I will disagree with you about putting your thumb on the scales in terms of like an NPC or something situationally.
Yes, I think that's more important.
And then that is, if this is a reoccurring villain and it's not time yet,
then maybe
I don't see a problem at all with fudging that so he soaked that extra damage and can get away.
Okay.
I think as storytellers that's our right and our prerogative. There is a way to abuse that.
Sure.
And you have to know how not to do that.
There's a fine line you gotta walk.
Yeah. I looked at case in point as the end of our Chronicle Shadows and Tall Trees. That final encounter did not go the way I wanted it to. No. And I let that ride, of course.
Yeah.
I mean, it did.
Yeah. We weren't.
I would have loved to have gone, no, fuck you, man. This should be like an epic, satisfying thing. Not a god roll from one dude one time. But.
Right. Integrity of the game.
Exactly. However, I wasn't going to let you kill Vermilion.
No, I know.
Vermilion, I have more to do with him.
I figured as much.
Before it's time for you to kill him.
Or if
the Joker needs time to become the Joker, so that it's satisfying to beat the Joker.
Are you kidding me? Like, it'd be satisfying, like, the first...
Oh, he tortures you for 2 days and...
Took my fucking arm!
Cry about it. Touché.
I would have been satisfied then!
Touché.
But I get it. You have a story to tell.
Yeah, that's a character who also has an arc. And, yeah, I'll fudge that because that arc involves you guys.
You son of a bitch.
But you know what? The fact that you're saying that through laughter and a smile leads me to believe that you wouldn't have it any other way.
Oh, absolutely. I know Vermilion has his own story, and it's fun, even though he's the bad guy, even though he's the one who did to me what he did, took the arm and all that, but like, that's another story in this grand scheme. So, absolutely wouldn't. I didn't think we were going to kill him that game.
Well, good.
The other one, sure.
Yeah. Well, that was, again, it was the appropriate time.
And we're saving those for Patreons.
Yeah, that's the thing, is because that will eventually be part of the postmortem series, so we're trying to... But, surely you would go that far with me here, Melissa.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, absolutely.
There's a time and a place. And I think it takes a while as a storyteller to learn that nuance. I think it's easy to, especially with NPCs, to baby them.
Yes, because there are babies.
Absolutely. And it's like, hey, you can run this setting again, change things.
Sure.
Work to improve and make it better. But that NPC can live again when everyone rerolls new characters or with a different group. It's all going to be okay eventually. The idea is still alive. But I think there's that tendency to overprotect them, and sometimes to. I mean, there's the dreaded Mary Sue.
That doesn't sound familiar at all.
No, I don't know that.
Neither one of you know that term.
No.
No.
The Mary Sue is it's a trope. It refers to a fan fiction Star Trek character.
Okay.
Who was a 14-year-old captain of a ship who was inherently amazing at everything.
At 14.
And had close, intimate relations, or not intimate necessarily, but not like that. But, very close friendships and partnerships with the various canonical members of the Enterprise.
At 14.
Look, it's somebody's fanfic thing.
Okay.
All right? But, it's that character who can do no wrong. It's that level of, you don't want to write that.
No.
Your NPCs are not the center of the universe, and that's a danger that early storytellers can make, is to make it about those guys. If I have written a situation, for example, Danny, that that you guys are gonna go back to the submarine and Whiplash will be there.
Uh-huh.
If you're sure of that, I'm doing something wrong. Like, if you're not aware that there's an entire possibility that he could have died in action.
Oh, okay, I see what you're saying. I was like, what do you mean? Yeah, he lives there. Oh, okay, I got it. Yeah, well, World of Darkness. But, yeah, he's out doing shit, too.
Right.
There's no guarantee he's there unless he was buried.
And just because he's my NPC doesn't make him invincible.
Right.
It doesn't make him perfect. Not everybody's everybody's buddy. Not everybody knows everybody.
I know exactly what you're saying. Sorry, it took me a second to realize what you were saying, but yeah.
Well, I'm glad once you did.
Oh, yeah.
But I think that's a big thing.
He lives there, of course he is.
Oh, what are you talking about? Where else would he be? Well, like, shot in the face. How about that?
Possibility.
Yeah, but I think that's a danger people do too, is they get too attached to their NPCs. Storytellers get too attached to their NPCs. And even then, sometimes, you need to be concerned that you're not overshadowing
anything else.
Yeah. Your NPC, regardless of how much you love that character, is not more important
than the grand scheme of the entire game.
Right.
Yeah.
That character might outrank your players, but it's your player's story, not the NPC's story.
That's why I try not to use old characters of mine that I truly love that were at one time PCs as NPCs in my game. Because if something bad happens to them, I just can't.
Well, at the same time, he just mentioned, you can always bring him back in a different timeline.
No, but see,
I know. But at the same time, I couldn't bear to see one of my former characters die horribly.
See, I get that. I mean, Melissa, you and I, we disagree on this. I do the exact opposite. I love to use those characters again. And for me, it's because I know them so well and they're so fleshed out that, again, it's about ringing the bell, is I can present Sekhmet Rainmaker, the person, the human being, the three-dimensional real guy, so to speak, and bring that experience there where they can get to know this character. And I take him for a spin somewhat differently. Like, for example, your guy in their games, in Danny and Tom, this version of Sekhmet is a total fucking prima donna. He has read his own press, he approves of it, and he may have commented on a few things after he put the thumbs up.
Which you should too.
You should too. But I totally understand going the other way with it too. The worrying that you're too attached to them, that, there's not a wrong thing to do there. You've done the right thing by knowing that and going that way. But it's viable both.
Mm-hmm. I think you're always going to have good storytellers and you're always going to have bad storytellers, and you're going to have good players and you're going to have bad players. And you're going to get frustrated. Even just sitting around the table with the people that you're playing with, and you're just like, are you kidding me? Like, stop it. But I think at the end of the day, we're here to have fun. We're here to have a good game, play a game that we love.
Well said.
No, I completely agree. I think that's a thing. It's part of the worthier part. And to add to that, maybe it is really just as simple, or it can be. I'll say it can be just as simple, because whether it is or not is whether or not you allow it to be.
Fair point.
but it can be just as simple as we are all here to celebrate something we love, or to get new people, or at the same time to get new people to fall in love with the thing that we love. We're there to have a good time, to back each other up, to experience a good story, to make some memories. I mean, it's all of that put together. And so maybe when problems arise, when we have a snag, regardless of what side you're on, what side of the table you're on, what your thoughts, your opinion, whatever it may be.
You're all in it together.
We're all in it together. Make it about the game. Let go a little bit. Everybody.
Yeah.
Everybody let go a little bit. Trust in each other. Have some faith. Have some fun. And relax. And maybe that's the solution.
I like it.
Melissa?
Absolutely.
We've solved everything. Look at that.
Go team.
That's right.
RAI. Superpowers.
That's Super RAI team. Forever. 100 years. Buy our merch.
You get superpowers too.
Coffee tastes better.
Yeah. Superpowers. Hooded blanket. Makes you invisible.
Hooded blanket's amazing. Hooded blanket is amazing.
It's so cool looking. I'm just waiting I haven't ordered it yet, but it's on my list.
Right. But that's
pretty close enough.
I think that is our show. So Melissa, thank you so much for joining us again.
Absolutely.
Thank you so much again, Melissa. It's such a big deal for you to be here again.
I just said
I know, and I'm thanking her too.
Okay.
Jeez. For the first one to be here for 3 times.
That's right.
Thank you so much.
You are the captain, the chairman of the Hat Trick Club.
Hat Trick Club.
We can do better.
Yeah, that's what we like to hear.
Well, we'll ring the bell. We'll get a better name than that, but
I mean, Hat Trick and Canada.
Yeah, hockey, and obviously.
Hockey. Sports and sports.
Yeah, I know. It's a sports podcast.
Sports. Yep. You want to be better at sports. You gotta do better sports stuff than the other sports stuff. I stopped caring about sports in general for the last 5 years, man.
We keep talking about it then.
Sports. Welcome to RAI, the sports, non-sports sportscast. All right, Porter, wrap it up.
Yeah. So, on behalf of our dear friend Melissa, of Daniel, I don't know what the hell, Tyson, the still missing in action, Tommy Dixon, and of course myself, we want to thank you so much for listening, for hanging out with us on this time. You know where to find us if you've got something to say, but hey, in the meantime, take care of yourself, take care of each other, right?
Mm-hmm.
Keep howling, take it easy, and we will see you next time. See ya.